Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thank y'all for joining me again today on the live stream. As you know, we always have a topic. Today's topic is the price for paradise too high overseas? Let me cut that on. I want to give a shout out to the NTZ crew. I see you, Elect Mercado. She says, "One love. I love you, Cal. I love you back, Ellen. You know that." Jeffrey Tatter, Jacob J. I don't know if Michael Beecher Life's going to be on here, but if he is, welcome, brother. Any new viewers and subscribers that are watching us for the first time, I had to open that up, put a little light on the scene. Welcome. Anybody watching this on replay, and also, of course, my old heads, Doubtful Genius, Jeffrey Tatter, Wonders of Life. I see all y'all on here. Is the price for paradise too high overseas? We're going to talk about that, guys. Look, because I got a message I want to read y'all from one of my subscribers. And it's going to tell you why I believe I owe it to my viewers and subscribers to talk about real life stuff on my channel. If not, I'm doing you a real disservice, man. It's not easy moving across the planet and starting all over again. But let me give you the peso is 55.77, which is great. There's Mr. Passport King. What's up, brother? Thank you for joining me again, too. Roger Walker. Laura, become a big member of the community. Thank you, Laura, for joining us. But 55.77 is great for anybody who's not familiar with the Philippines and the peso versus the dollar. Right now, it's really up there. I mean, I don't know if there's a better exchange rate on the planet than what we're enjoying over here. If it is, somebody please let me know, because I like to talk about that too. And I'm just going to touch on this, guys. I've been getting a lot of messages, look, guys, about this, the Dumagati disciples going at each other. We don't need the good guys fighting each other. There's enough bad guys out here. We don't need the good guys fighting each other. But see, I tell you, I got a real life channel. I've got my finger on the pulse. I just did a video the day before all this got started about the ugly Americans in the Philippines. I don't know what it is about Americans, but we the police of the world. You know, it doesn't matter if it's internet, YouTube, we can't seem to mind our own business, guys. And it causes a lot of trouble over here. I don't know if it's everywhere else, but over here it does, man. We're going at each other, and it's just us, really, on the volume that it is. It's just always us, man, hating on each other, trolling. Now they're fighting, but it's none of my business, okay? So I just wanted to get that out of the way. But let me read this message from a guy who's been following me for a long, long time. His name is James, and he lives right here in San Carlos City. He's a very intelligent man. He got his life together. So this is what I'm going to talk about today. He says, "Hey, Calvin, I just watched your recent video. You described me almost to the T. I sold everything, got rid of most everything I had. I have no address in the United States anymore, but I do have a plan B. Only difference is I have just enough money to establish a small home base back in America. Most of my savings was spent getting myself established in the Philippines." He's going to touch on a lot of stuff I'm going to talk about today. This is a heck of a message. He says, it took a lot of money. He says, if I didn't get married and did my plan B first, I would have more money in the bank. Most of us watch vloggers on YouTube during the pandemic and wanted to retire and leave the rat race. He says, I realize now that the Philippines isn't all sunshine and roses. And I really didn't have it so bad back in the U.S. after all. This is powerful, guys. I'm going to touch on this today. He's saying this stuff. He didn't have it so bad after all, but you got to have something to weigh it up against. Okay, he says, if I live in the U.S. for half a year, I'll have to work part-time again in order to keep a place in the Philippines and a place in America. Whereas if I had executed Plan B first, I wouldn't have to work part-time again. Some people say I should save more money first, but I don't think I can wait another 3 years. Things may very well be more expensive 3 years from now, and I'm not getting any younger. Sorry for the long explanation. Take care. But I'm going to say this and then we'll get started. Here's what he really said of all the stuff. He says, but I'm realizing I should have done things differently and not have rushed into things so fast. My head must have been in a cloud. Guys, this is a profound message from this guy. Me and him about the same age. And it's all about what I'm going to talk about today. It's no coincidence, man. Listen, is the price too high over here? I ask. For people like me, I say, no, I would have paid any price to get out of the situation I was in. But for some of us, we never even think it all the way through. Your situation where you are now may not be as bad as you're making it out to be. But when our head is in the clouds, like he said, you can't see anything. You certainly aren't listening to anything. And when the clouds dissipate, they disappear and they're gone, you realize, hey, I'm 10 stories high on this high wire with no safety net below me. And you start saying, oh, I should have did things differently. You're damn right. But what I want to talk about today is this is not a game over here. It's not something to come over here and play and, oh, it's going to be so easy. You pay a price over here. Even for the guys who have the greatest plans of all of us over here, they pay a price because nothing's free. All right, but I would have paid any price, but it is kind of high. Let's talk about what is paradise, and then we'll get into the thick of things. I'll read some of your comments. I just looked it up in the dictionary, several, but from what we need it for, paradise is an ideal place or state where you're extremely happy, peaceful, and picturesque. This is a place of contentment. Now, of course, paradise is going to be subjective, everybody. You know that we all have our own definition of paradise. Everybody's situation is different. But as a YouTube vlog over here in the Philippines, as somebody who promotes the Philippines as a vacation spot and a retirement destination, I feel the need to tell you the truth a lot of times, to give you what I call the 360. But here's one of the prices that you pay for moving overseas, whether it's the Philippines, Colombia, Brazil. You're waiting to excel. You're waiting to excel. You really can't say everything you want to say. You're like a meme. You're like a mannequin. You can be seen, but you can't be heard. Saying the wrong thing, telling the truth a lot of times, the bitter truth, can get you in trouble over here. So that's why you see a lot of vloggers over here sugarcoating everything. We've given up our voice really back living here. Okay, we're guests here, so there's certain rules we have to live by. And one of them is shut the fuck up and mind your own business. So if you get somebody on YouTube who skirts the boundaries like I do, it's controversial. It's controversial. But really, what I say is not controversial, guys. I'm just giving you what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. I see it all the time when people get home, especially vloggers. Man, they come off with really what they really want to say about the Philippines and other places. Because our hands are tied. They're literally tied over here. So you get a lot of these sugary stories about the Philippines because you can't say what you really want to say, what really needs to be said. We're afraid what's going to happen. But it puts our viewers and subscribers in a vicarious situation. we think it's all sunshine and roses over here. That's what he said from watching all the vlogs through the pandemic. Now, before I go on, let me say this. When I'm talking about retiring over here in the Philippines, you can either, it's two different ways to retire, and they're like night and day. The right way, really, where you're going to have more benefits and everything, you feel more of a part of, is if you get like an SRV or one of the other permanent visas. Okay, where you could actually work here, you could go to school, you could start a business, or you can do it the tourist visa way, where every 3 years you leave the country, you make a visa run and come back. Well, you're basically a tourist living here. But there's a price you pay, and one of them is you need to shut your mouth. You can't really talk about the things you need to talk about. So you're waiting to exhale. When people go home and they message me, they write these long diatribes, man, because they know when they're over here, they can't say anything. And if you look on the horizon over here with YouTube vloggers, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. And a lot of times I think that's disingenuous. I don't think it does the Philippines or the Filipino people any good, because you're saying something that they don't even see. They're looking at him like, well, what Philippines is he talking about? But when you talk more real life, I think they respect you. You can do that without being disrespectful. And that's what I try to do. But that's one big thing, guys, that we pay, is we give up our voice over here. Because you don't vote, you don't pay taxes over here. You really have no right to speak out and say things, because vloggers, we're held to a different standard. Now, a company can come over here. If you don't believe me, go on YouTube. There's just some negative videos and documentaries about the Philippines. But see, they get to go back home, and it's hard for them to shoot somebody 8,000 miles away. But somebody like me who's over here, I'm boots on the ground. I got roots over here. I got to be real careful about what I say. So that's one price that you really, really pay. The other thing that he hit on here, well, he said, just establishing a life over here in the Philippines costs a lot of money. It's very expensive monetarily. If you do it the right way, it's very expensive. When you come over here to get set up, you gotta, you pay, get your apartment, you pay either 1 month and then like 1 month deposit. Usually you're going to have some type of transportation. You got to get furniture. It's all kinds of stuff, man. I'm going to go on the record right now. When you're in America, they'll tell you want to have, what do they say, 6 months of expenses just in case an emergency happens. Well, why not just transfer that over here? Is that too hard to have 6 months worth of expenses, 6 in the bank? The emergency fund. So if your expenses are $1,000 a month, have 6,000. Why would you come over here with anything less? But remember, we're grown men. We really can't tell you what to do, and people aren't going to listen to me anyway. They're going to do whatever they want to do. Laura says, early this morning, I was listening to him while I was cleaning. I put YouTube on my TV, and he is there, and then others are there. I listen like a radio. Let's see. Roger says he can't wait to get over here and leave that rat race. Leonard Washington says, hey, what's up, everybody? Robert Dame says, you come to paradise and then insult the angels, then certainly the price could be too high. Yeah, but you don't have to insult anybody to tell the truth. Okay, it's just the truth. I mean, I think people will respect you more. I certainly will if you tell the truth about me. I don't want to be around a bunch of yes men, because how do I know when I'm wrong? I don't want to ride off the cliff, go over the cliff. I want somebody to say, hey, Cal, you're heading toward the cliff. Hey, Alec McCullough, thanks for that super chat. She said, who wants to match me? I love you, Cal. I love you back. Ellen, and I'm glad you and Laura are being more vocal on here. We need more women. Mr. Passport King, thanks for that super chat. He said, I'll match. Anticipation of getting to 50,000. Yeah, see, that's not something that I take very lightly. You know, I haven't looked it up yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm probably in that 1, 2, 5% of YouTubers who get to 50,000 subscribers. You know, I'm indebted to my viewers and subscribers. Just like I said when I read that message, I owe it to my viewers and subscribers to talk about real life stuff, man. Because I'm not doing you any good if I'm going to sugarcoat every damn thing, you know. Jesus Silva says, hello, everyone, especially you know who. Luis Martinez, what's going on, brother? Retired 2019. I love the chance. Say good morning, evening, everybody, for this unusual Sunday, Monday live stream from the hamster wheel. Yeah, I missed yesterday. I was traveling back to San Carlos City, which is getting old. Let me do this. Yeah, there you go. This is getting old. That 5 hours on that bus, man, to kick your behind, you know. But, you know, right now, we got to do what we got to do. What's up, Mike Dawsonville? I see you on here. Brian Bell says, here now, loving Cebu. All right. Travel Tech says, what's up, Cal? 45 days to go. Yeah, I hope you guys, if you come in here for any amount of time, you have a decent plan. You know, but let's talk about some of the stuff he said. He said a lot of us, but he said he did. And this is true of everybody. If we let the smoke clear, really, and calm down, we'll realize that we really don't have it so bad in our home countries, for real. You know, but some people have convinced themselves, like me, that I had to get out of that. My life was at stake. But if I thought about it all the way through and let everything calm down, it's like, you know, America's really not that bad. You know, because you give up a lot especially when you leave America. One guy said it. He said, Cal, the difference is when foreigners come to America and they want to be expats here, we help them. We give them that safety net. He said, but when you go to places like the Philippines, there's no safety net. You basically on your own. And he's right about that. But remember, you can get an SRV. You can get a permanent resident visa if you're married to a Filipina. If you're going to school here. There's certain business investment visas where you get a little help. But it's nothing like in America. I know exactly what you're talking about. And see, that's one of the things that I've got on here. There's no safety net over here. We're on our own over here, guys. You better have a damn good plan. If you don't, you're going to be in trouble. Billy Time said, what's up, Godfather? He says, love your content. Don't let no haters get to you. Yeah, I won't, man, honestly, but I'm a human being. And I know how to handle them, you know, but every day I'm not inspired, you know, and I'm just not used to people picking on me like that. Hey, Jesus Silva, thanks for that super sticker. You know, it weighs on you guys sometimes. And I never give them any attention anymore. I've learned not to do that. And remember, it's always Americans anyway. Hey, Laura, thanks for that super chat. Wow. She says, I'm sending a late birthday gift and video viewing gift. I have been researching box jellyfish, and you may have saved my life. Ha ha. I was up way too early and cannot stay and watch, but I will keep my phone running and charging. Thank you so much, Laura. Yeah, you know, I'm going to tell you something, Laura. I was just like you. I never heard of jelly box fish. I certainly didn't know they were over here in the Philippines. And now it's got me scared to get in the water. I'm going to be honest with you. I stay in the swimming pool. I'm going to get me one of those suits, though. I will. Hey, Michael Onstead, thanks for that super sticker. Now, people always ask me, because one of the things I'm going to talk about, Michael, on here, one of the, the price that we pay to come over here is there's no health care. And Michael Onstead is a healthcare professional. And I'm, I don't get paid to promote him. Okay, I promote him as a fellow insurance agent. We do that. That's part of our community. But he knows what he's doing. He can help you with that because your Medicare is not good over here. Your GE insurance and your Ford Motor Company insurance, it's not good over here. And that's one of the prices you pay for moving overseas. You give up all that health care and that you work so hard for and paid for. And Michael can help you with that. So thank you, Michael, really for what you do. He's really giving back because it's not a whole lot of guys that do what he does over here. He spends a lot of time doing that, I'm sure. He's working over here. He's not retired. David Morgan says, hello, Calvin. As a black man living here in the Philippines, for me, it's better in so many different ways. Yeah. And like I said, everybody's situation is different. But you're still paying a price, David. A lot of the things that I'm saying. You don't have a safety net unless you've got 6 months, at least 6 months of expenses. That would be the only safety net we would have. You're waiting to exhale. You got to bite your tongue like the rest of us. But I get what you're saying. We're not really talking about that, though. That would be your definition of paradise. We're just talking about, is the price too high? Because we give up a lot, man. We pay a high price to live overseas. And I just want to be real with you. I'm going to give you the nitty gritty. It's not for everybody. And some people have no business trying to live over here. Come on vacation, yeah, but when you think it all the way through, I was talking to a guy today. He was talking about his long distance relationship with help. He was asking me for help when he had all the answers himself. I said, man, help. All you got to do is listen to yourself. I guess he just wanted me to co-sign for him, which I did. He was like, it's hard to maintain a relationship with a woman who lives across town, let alone a woman who lives on the other side of the planet. I said, well, there's your answer. It is hard, man. Long distance relationships ain't nothing to play with. And I hope his situation works out for him because he's a great guy. But he helped himself. No family or friends. You give all that up, man. You basically, and I've got this on here, you're basically starting over from scratch. And how many 60, 65, 70, 75-year-old people really want to start from scratch? But it's a price that you pay for paradise. If you want to, remember, nothing's free. Nature frowns on the desire to get something for nothing. And I was telling this guy, I said, you want to get to that girl? You say you don't have the money, then get another job. Work 2 jobs. Stop tricking off your money, whatever you're doing over there in America. That's stopping you from having the money that you need to get over here to see her. Because nature's going to sift you out. You want to see that girl? Okay. How bad you want to see her? Are you willing to work another job? If you're not, then, I'm sorry. You're just going to be complaining all the time. See, and that's another thing about this waiting to exhale over here. We lose our voice when we come over here. Because if you do speak up with some concern, what did I put down here? You're seen as complaining. Yeah, displeasure. If you go out to the restaurant and the service or the food is not up to your standard and you say something about, you complaining. And then they'll tell you, well, if you don't like it here, go home. Well, it's not that deep, man. I'm just saying I don't appreciate the service I got. Can I say that? No, you can't say that over here. I'm sorry. Hey, King Arthur, thanks for that super chat. He said, being retired, all I want is a good woman and chill on the beach. Not in a rush for anything. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, This is your definition. Now, you can have that, King Arthur, but what I'm here to tell you is you're going to have to pay a price for it. You're not just going to come over here and sit back and be like, oh, man, life is so good. There's always going to be something knocking at your brain, okay? It's just how it is. You're going to pay a price to come over here. So as long as you okay with that, you're going to be better off. See, me, I would have paid any price to get out of my situation, because if I'd have stayed there, it was going to mean death for me. And not a whole lot I can do dead for me or my children. Hey, Retired 2019, thanks for that super chat. He said, Calvin, I appreciate your video for black men knowing our self-worth. O'Shea did a nice video on you. Much respect. Thank you, Retired 2019. You've been following me for a long time. You know, man, that I'm just going to talk about real stuff. Just what I'm seeing. It doesn't have to mean, oh, it's the Bible. I'm going to talk about things that people are afraid to talk about, which I don't know why. We're just having a conversation. That's all. You know, a guy wrote me a heartfelt message, man, a friend of mine, man. It gives me chills. He said, Calvin, I don't like the fact that these guys are earning money off of your videos. He said, they're not even trying to give you any of it. He said, they're robbing you in broad daylight. He said, whether they agree with you or disagree, they're doing these reactionary videos and they're getting paid. And he said, I think they should be like you and create their own content, original content. You know, he felt they were taking advantage of me. And I said, well, you know, that is one way you could look at it, but another way is maybe they're giving me more publicity. Okay, these reactionary videos are here to stay. There's nothing I can do about that. They're very big. Some of the biggest channels now are reactionary videos. I just won't do them. I don't see any point of doing that. The video's already been made. Now, O'Shea Jackson, I tip my hat to him, you know, for the love he shows me, you know, because, okay, the video I did that he put out there, he's got over 100,000 views on it. I only got 11,000. Okay, but that's 100,000 more people that's going to see my face. Okay, guys? And remember, we don't need the good guys fighting each other. Hell, Doomageddon, Disciple, drama. It's not drama, man. It's ugly Americans, man. I just did a video on it. For some reason, man, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about Americans, man. I don't know what it is. But we feel like we're the police of the damn world. When we need to shut the fuck up and mind our own business, that makes it a whole lot easier for everybody over here. But we won't do it, man. We won't do it. If they see you with a 20-something-year-old woman, they got to talk about that. Oh, if they see you building a house over here, they got to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, man, mind your own business. They want you to live just like they live. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. Rabbit Farmer says, why would any old man spend time in a nursing home when they can come to the Philippines and be with the younger women? Well, that's fine, but this video, I think y'all getting the wrong definition. This video is, okay, you can have your paradise over here in Mexico or Brazil, Colombia, wherever, Costa Rica, but there's a price you have to pay. Are you willing to pay the price for paradise overseas? Because it's a price you got to pay. It's not easy. Nothing's free. And the big thing with me over here is I really can't say what I want to say. I've never disrespect anybody. That's not who I am. You don't become a successful insurance agent for 16 years insulting people and lying to people. Not in this day, with full disclosure. But I just feel that I've got Americans watching me and foreigners watching me. And if I say the wrong thing, they're going to take it, they're going to twist it, and they're going to throw it out there to the Filipino people. That's disrespecting Filipinos to me. As if they don't have their own, they don't have sense enough to know what's disrespectful and not to them. Okay? But that's one thing, you know, no family or friends, you know, you don't You ain't got the corner over here to hang out on anymore. And, people say that, you think that we gloss over that like it's no big deal. Yeah, it's a big deal. That's a high price to pay to travel overseas. Hey, LA Detroit says Anton Daniels did a reaction video also. Oh, wow. I didn't know that, man. Thank you, LA Detroit. He's a long-time follower. Him and his Filipino wife. I'm going to have to check that out. But, I take it as a compliment, but him being a friend, he felt that I'm being taken advantage of. And, it's always, that's his perspective, man. I respect him. It's just that it kind of touched me because he said, man, you've been on my heart lately. These guys, they doing all these reactionary videos and, he's talking about the hate and all that. He says he doesn't understand why I go through so much. I said, it's just, remember, bugs are attracted to light. When you get to 50,000, man, they coming. But remember what I told you. When you're this close to kicking the damn door in, nature's going to throw that last thing at you. That criticism, the hate is coming. So it just tells me that I'm this close. But yeah, it's a high price over here for paradise. Let's talk about this starting over from scratch. This is a big one, really. This is a big one, man, because a lot of us are set in our ways. A lot of you have it good in your home country. But a lot of us vloggers, and I'm one of them, we're convincing you that it's not so good, that it's better over here. So you get rid of everything, just about everything you got, and you come over here, Brazil, wherever it is. And then you just like James, after a while, you realize, I don't really have it that bad at home as I thought I did. I might have it even better at home. But now you got to start over from scratch. Nobody knows you here. All your military service means absolutely nothing other than you can get a SRV. You have no reputation. Your credit, nobody knows you. See, you have to rebuild your good reputation and your good name all over again. Guys, listen to me. That's tough to do. Okay? I'm there, I've made inroads on that, but it's hard. I don't have my name is, it's not gold over here as it is in America. Okay, I got people, man, that will walk through hell with gasoline draws on in America for Calvin Rhodes. They know my reputation. I haven't gotten there yet. I had to start all the way over. And it takes a long time to do that, man. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to start all the way over from scratch? Through all that success you did, it's going to be in the rearview mirror because nobody cares over here. They never heard of you over here. You don't believe me? Okay, I was talking to my buddy Eric Terry yesterday. He's a professor, very intelligent, very sharp guy. He would be considered high value. Well, anyway, I said, man, where you live, I'm pretty sure you see celebrities, right? And here's what he said. He said, yeah, my girlfriend pointed a celebrity out to me, and she was all excited. And I was like, well, who is that? It didn't even move the needle. He said, it is like anybody else to me. And that's the point I'm trying to make with you. I don't care how big you are over there. When you get over here, nobody's going to know you. I'll be like, okay, you who? What you do over there? You got to start all over from scratch. That's tough to do. Okay. Instagram model stock market said, go talk with the peso man. Do an interview with him. Who is that? Who is the peso man? I've never heard of him. There's so many bloggers over here now. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm very disappointed, man. I mean, because this is no game over here. This is serious business. And we're just not getting. One of the guys messaged me. No, it was in the comments. He said, man, I'm glad that you talk about real life stuff. He said, because this copy and paste stuff that they putting out here is really dangerous. It is, man. You can talk about real stuff without stepping on the Filipinos' toes. Excuse me. And without disrespecting the people and the culture, people do it all the time, man. They come over here, go on YouTube. It's just videos documentaries by reputable, news organizations and different things like that, documentary makers that are just so disrespectful. They shed the Philippines in a bad light. Okay. You see it. And they get away with it. But I guess they speak, well, you're living here. It's a double standard, right? I love LaChan says, copy and paste. Is that some form of plagiarism? No, he's just saying it's the same stuff over and over. I've seen just today, I'm looking on there. I see like 3 or 4 on the age gap. I mean, come on, guys. How much more about the damn age gap do people really need to know out there? It's not already out there. Okay. That's one of the big things that got this argument started. A big deal about the age gap. Okay. But and stuff like that, what else? Dating and all of that, man. It's just, there's more to it, guys, than that over here. Remember, I told you on my last video, the women that we're dating over here, they're opposite of us. Opposites don't attract. Okay. The probability of you being successful in a relationship over here is about the same as you walking in that casino. And just because you see other people doing it, winning, don't mean you're going to win. The odds are stacked against you. The cultural differences that I talk about all the time that everybody else tries to say, oh, it's no big deal. It's a big deal. And you may be able to deal with it for the first couple of months, but after a while, it's going to catch up with you. Okay, opposites don't attract. Look that up. People want the same. I don't worry about opposite of me. He said, well, Calvin, you did hell. Look how many women I had to deal with before I found one. This is what I'm telling you. But we put it all on the line. I'm selling everything. Tell the boss, kiss my ass. The family, I don't care what you say, I'm leaving. We burn every bridge and come over here. And it don't meet your expectations. You're infatuated with the Philippines and these places. That's what you are. My assignment is look up the word infatuation. You're infatuated. Hey, Quan Smith, thanks for that super chat. He said, what's up, bro? You got it, man. Billy Time says you're invisible in the States when you get a certain age, Cal. Well, if you somebody who's got a legacy, you're never invisible, especially to your friends and family. But over here, they don't care nothing about your legacy. You got to begin a new legacy over here. And that's all I'm saying. When I said they don't know me in the state, he said they don't know me in the States either. You're missing my point, man. You know you over there. You know what you've done. You worked 30 years at the factory. You graduated with a PhD over there. Okay, you retired from the military. You established a successful business and sold it to come over here. But when you come over here, they don't care about that. They don't know that you did all of that, but you know. So now all of that, you got to start over. And you say, well, I'm going to use all my life experiences. It's good, but it's just a price you got to pay. I'm living in paradise right now. My definition of paradise. Okay, it says it right here. An ideal place or state. You can be in paradise up here. What's it say? Extremely happy, peaceful, and picturesque. Okay, a place of contentment. It's subjective. We all have our own definition. Okay. So when people get on here, oh, y'all make Philippines out to be a paradise, it's a slum. I'm like, dude, that's your right to say that. But remember, it's subjective. If you come over here, I can show you, I can take you around this vast place, and I can show you places that that absolutely perfectly meet that definition of paradise. Now, you can deny it if you want to, okay? Paradise to you might be, hell, having all the crack you can smoke all day long, all the cheap whiskey you can drink all day long. That might be paradise to you. Lunchtime says, it's been a while. Glad you are still at it, Cal. Congrats on 50,000. Thank you, man. I couldn't have did it without the viewers and subscribers. This channel belongs to y'all. Any channel you see out there belongs to the viewers and subscribers, because that's the only thing that makes it what it is. Without you, it's nothing. You know, we did do a lot as far as creating the content, but I was creating content for a long time before anybody ever saw my channel. I had over 200. When I got monetized, not when I got monetized, when they put me on the radar, I already had 200 videos. See? But yeah, thank you, Lunchtime. I couldn't have done it without you. And I'm not quite there yet. I'm right at there. I'm kicking the door down. I mean, it's a phenomenal achievement. I don't care what anybody says. I don't compare myself against anybody else. Oh, they got 200,000. They got 70. I'm talking about me personally. Hey, Matt Carlos says, everyone hates me in the UK too. So I guess, let's see. It's not going to be so bad. Y'all missing the point of that, but we're going to move on. Ramal said, travel far enough, you meet yourself. Keith Richards said, from the age gap now to the expat gap. Yeah, I think you're hitting on something there, guys. It's getting bad. It's really getting bad when the good guys start fighting each other. I mean, that's terrible, man. You know, these guys don't really understand. If they really understood what the trolls, the haters, and the stalkers do to us, they would stop that, man. They would stop that. They would be ashamed of themselves to pick on each other, man. We're a community. We need each other. We got to pick each other up because there are real haters out there. Then we don't need the good guys fighting each other, man. Hey, Sun Moon says, I'm 66, divorced many years, 2 children grown and busy with their children and lives and older siblings. I text on holidays, but haven't seen in years, so I'm ready for a new life in the Philippines. And you can have that new life, Sun Moon. Anybody watching this, I'm telling you, you can have it. But it comes with a price. This is what we're talking about today. So what did we say? It's expensive. Just like James said, to get established over here, he spent a lot of his savings to create a life over here in the Philippines. If you do it right, you're going to spend a lot of money. You know, people don't realize, man, I've spent millions over here, man, to live. Okay? And still spending a lot of money to live and take care of my responsibilities. It's not cheap, but it's worth it. It was worth any price for me because the triangle of death is real for me over there. Waiting to exhale. You don't have a voice when you move into another country. You don't vote. You don't pay taxes. You basically got to shut up and mind your own business. Anything you say is going to be misconstrued, misinterpreted, taken out of context. If you say, hey, man, I don't like this steak, they're going to say, well, if you don't like it, go home. You know, it's going to be wrong. You know, then you've got the ugly Americans. They're waiting to pounce on anything you say. So when you finally get home, you're like, oh, man, I can finally say so. I really have a freedom of speech. I can really say what I want to say. The customer service was pitiful. You know, the red tape and the bureaucracy was terrible. You know, wherever you are around the world, because you can't say that when you get here. Any concern is you're complaining, go home. And I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. Jesus Silva says, opposites are not best for each other, though respect and understanding can go a long way in a relationship. Yeah, but how are you going to understand somebody that you're opposite from? Jesus. This is what I'm saying. We're talking about real life. We're not talking about this fairy tale stuff that they put in songs and movies and all that. You're not attracted to somebody opposite of you. I don't care the age gap. It don't matter. I'm talking about, but if they are opposite of you and your personality, your physicality, and all of that, you're not gonna get along, man. And that's what this cultural differences is. We try to gloss over it. We try to pretend that it don't mean anything. It does. You're opposite from a lot of the women that you're dealing with over here. I did a video. I talked about it. Why your first relationship don't work. Because it hits you. You're going to hit a wall with that. And some people watching my relationship work. Yeah, but the million of others didn't. So you're just, the exception just proves the rule to be correct. Some of you are with the now, you're just holding on to the relationship to make me and people like me wrong. Well, in your mind, guys, you're going to struggle. Smacking the food and different things that we do and they do, the time. Oh, my God, that's a big one. Don't waste my time, and my time gets wasted a lot over here. I'm not 40. I'm 60. You probably, in the long run, have more time to waste than me. Don't waste my time. If we're supposed to be there at 8, then be there at 8. Don't come at 9. It's just a lot of stuff, guys. But if I say that, really, how you really feel over here, they're going to say, oh, well, get him out of here. You got to go home. So you get a lot of sugary talk on YouTube and social media and everything about the Philippines. It's disingenuous. I think that's more disrespectful to the Filipino people and the country than anything the truth can do. Okay. No health care. No health care over here. You got to spend for health care. You worked all those years. It's a price you pay for paradise over here. They don't accept Medicare over here. They don't accept your Blue Cross Blue Shield HMO that you got from GE Ford. They don't. Now, up in Angeles City, Subic Bay, and different places in Manila, a lot more places are starting to accept that TRICARE for life. But how many people have TRICARE for life? A small percentage of people have TRICARE for life. But you give up that health care. It's a big price you have to pay. You can combat that by taking better care of yourself. See people like Mike Onstad, and they'll get you a policy, that now it's not going to cover too much pre-existing illnesses, but it's better than nothing. Hey, what's up, Beach of Life? Thanks for joining us, man. He said it's more than a vlog. It really is. We're trying to help each other. We need each other, believe it or not. We certainly don't need to be fighting. And, that's all I'm going to say about that. The good guys don't need to be fighting, man. They only knew, man, you guys don't know the half of what I deal with. Most of what I deal with is behind the scenes. It's not guys making videos of me. Frank Ellis says, your internet is really clear today, Cal. Yeah, I'm in San Carlos City. Remember, I got PLDT, fiber optics, 5G here, brother. And I pay about $35 a month, 150 Mbps. It's like a damn rocket ship over here. Remember, the Philippines is not 2G anymore. Tori Mackey says, hey, Cal, what's going on? Hope you and the family are doing well. Haven't caught a live in a while, but I always watch your videos. Really appreciate the one about how black men were overcompensating or compensating. Yeah, it's just something, man, that I wanted to talk about. I really don't know what I'm going to talk about when I get up in the morning. Something will come across my mind. And I think one of my buddies, he's moved to Sikihor with me, and he's overcompensating. And I got to thinking about it. I was like, well, damn, all those horror stories that I tell, 80% of them are black men. And I wonder, is there a reason why? And I just gave y'all my reasons why. That's all. I was saying, I'm getting ready to make a video once I get my thoughts together about it. It's called Keep your guard up. Protect yourself at all times. You know, when you're in the boxing ring, they always say protect yourself at all times. Keep your guard up because remember when Floyd Mayweather fought that guy Victor Ortiz, and Victor Ortiz comes up to him to shake his hand, and Floyd Mayweather hit him right in the mouth and knocked him out. Well, this is what I'm talking about over here. Wherever you are, it's just not the Philippines. I can't talk about the Philippines 24 hours a day, guys, because whatever I say is going to be overshadowed by all that sugary stuff. There's 1,000 videos out there, and they're all saying the same thing. And, I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying, I know why they're saying the same thing, because they're afraid to really say what they want to say. Okay, somebody's going to misconstrue it, make a video, put it out there, and get them deported. They're worried about that. Derek Casanova, he's true. He knows what he's talking about. He's got a gigantic Facebook group. It's called Brothers and Sisters in Thailand. Thousands of members. He said expats need to stick together instead of throwing each other under the bus. I don't get it, man. But you only see Americans do that. Out front, I'm saying. The ones with the audience and with the platform. It's Americans. It's like, what is our problem, man? Can't we just get along? Evidently, we can't. Y'all think I just be putting videos out there, but I don't. I just did a video on ugly Americans in the Philippines. It's some ugly Americans over here and coming back and forth from here. We're the police of the world for some reason. We're only 4% of the population. Sit your ass down. You don't run nothing, man. But we do. You got a young woman, they want to talk about that. You earning money on YouTube, they want to talk about that. Okay? You living a lifestyle over here, you a playboy over here, they want to talk about that. Man, shut the fuck up and mind your own business. And I'll tell you, your life is going to be a whole lot better over here. AC King says, I've been involved with an opposite before, but what I was really attracted to was that body she had. Other than that, nothing. Yeah. And that don't last. It didn't last. But yeah, guys, Deviate says, hey, brother, how you doing? As a Westerner cow, I can find good private health care in Cebu. Dealing with cholesterol and sugar issues, bro. Yeah. Well, I think that's all of us, man. I get rid of this damn sugar addiction, and that's probably my last addiction that I'm worried about. The sex addiction, I'm not going. I'm okay with that. But that sugar addiction is about the last thing I'm dealing with. King Arthur says, DVA, get your health in order before you visit the Philippines. That's what I'm doing now. I think he's in the Philippines already. DVA says, you're right, Cal. Most people out here don't like the network. I feel you're one of the few that show love when people come out there. Yeah, I think that's what it should be. A lot of people come to my meet and greets and watch this channel, come to San Carlos or whatever it is. They've never been to the Philippines before. I mean, here I am. I've been here almost 5 years in a row, on and off, over 14 years. Why can't I be a gracious host? Why can't I say, okay, at least you don't got to hang out with me, but at least I can point you in the right direction and say, hey, because most of the guys, and you can ask them, when they stay in the guest house, whether they're alone or with a woman, I don't hang with them. I just give them use of the guest house. That's all. Hey, Sproul and Edwards, thanks for the super chat. He says, a beautiful morning here in Iloilo. Man, you got to come out to the meet and greet Thursday, Sproul. I'm asking you, man, to come out there right at the Bourbon Street Bar and Grill on the Festive Walk, 3 p.m. until. It's a nice place. You've probably eaten there before. Come on out, man. I'd like to meet you in person. Thanks for that super chat, brother. Southern Purchase says, as Americans, we like trends. I think a lot of guys go to the Philippines and other countries as trends instead of thinking things through first. Save themselves some heartache. Yeah, it's okay to come here, But just know that you're going to pay price. It's not going to be free. It's not as easy as we make it out to be. We really make it out to be easy, but I tell you, everybody that you see over here that be in front of these cameras and talk about how nice the Philippines is, they paying a price one way or the other if they're going to be honest about it. See, I'm going to be honest about it. Alpino R says, what's up, Cal? Late to the stream, taking a break from studying this Linux CLI in that PowerShell shit's nuts. DHI Housing says, amen. Terrell Hall said, Calvin, you seem to be cut from a different cloth. You are original and don't seem like you're in competition with other YouTubers. Hope to meet you sometime this year. You're exactly right. I've never been in competition with other YouTubers. I don't see it as a competition because you can watch a video. Man, most of these videos are only like 10 minutes anyway. You watch him and watch him because some people do that. It's like a smorgasbord or like a banquet. You take what you like and leave the rest. But I've never seen it as a competition. It's really just a popularity contest. Everybody has their base. Some people like me better than they like other people. Some people like other people better than me. That's all it is. But I'm not in competition with anybody. We're all a bunch of amateurs, really. I'm just disappointed in the information that's out there. But remember, I'm very naive when it comes to that. Maybe they're just doing it for entertainment purposes and the money and all of that. But I'm like, look, man, people are selling everything to come over here based on what you're telling them, whether you believe it or not. I know it's true. I know it's true for a fact. Guys have come over and say, man, I wouldn't be over if it wasn't for you. And it gives me, it makes me pause like, man, and it makes me know I got a great responsibility to be on here talking about other than all the age gap and all that other foolishness that you see people talking about. It's just crazy to me. I know they see it. But if that's what we're going to accept, if you people accept it and keep clicking on it, I guess it is entertainment. That's all it is, really. Hey, Scotty said, thanks for keeping it real. Don't let the haters take over. I was there for 3 years in the 80s. Things were totally different, much more mellow, but what's he saying? But Mary and GI's times were different. Oh, yeah, no, but many GIs times were different, yeah. Well, the GIs have been replaced with the expats, that's all. Hey, Rasta Nadi, thanks for that super chat. He says, congratulations on 50,000, Cal. He said, long overdue. Are you planning a 50,000 celebration party? I am now, brother. You gave me the idea. I am now. I'm going to foot the bill. I'm going to do it here in St. Carlos City, though. And I appreciate your support, man. He's been around a long, long time. And that's a great idea. I owe it to my viewers and subscribers to do that. It's nothing to play with, man. It's a lot of people. And when I started in that little 5 foot by 8 foot room, and I'm being generous down in Zamboanga City, I never saw this day coming. Anybody told you that, they're lying. Hey, W Secret to Success, thanks for that super chat. He said, late to the live, Cal. I saw that one of the buddies from Houston, Texas, that initially moved to St. Carlos is now relocated to Iloilo. Yeah, Greg Williams, he's on his way. He says he's coming to the meet and greet. But he's a guy, he's got his head on right. He came over, he'd been over here for a year in July. And he hasn't gotten himself entangled in one of these crazy relationships. He's probably seeing a couple of women trying to see which is best for him. He went and got a nice apartment here for less than $200 a month. He's just living a simple life until now. He's been traveling around and he ran into Iloilo, which I was telling Eric Terry, he's coming. It'll be his first time. He's flying from Manila. I said, man, you're going to like Iloilo. It's really a nice place. You're going to be surprised. It's one of the more progressive cities in the Philippines. Um, AC Knight said King Arthur check with Pacific Cross. Yeah, that's who mostly Michael Onstead deals with. But it's a price you have to pay. Imagine this. You worked all those years. Even if you didn't work all those years, you qualify for your Medicare. And Medicare is good insurance. Don't let anybody tell you it's not. Trust me. I'm a Medicare representative. I don't work for Medicare, but they call me a Medicare Advantage representative. I know they're playing frontwards and backwards. I would take that over a lot of these fancy retirement plans, especially now. Uh, but imagine you qualify for it. Now you move overseas, Mexico, Philippines, whatever, and they don't accept it. It's no good at all. That's a big price you're paying. Especially at a time when you need it. You're using it now. Okay? It's not like when you were younger, you very seldom went to the doctor. Now you need it. See? And then they tell y'all it's no good. We don't accept that over here. And then, now if you got a Medicare Advantage plan, what they'll do is, if you got the money, now check with your plan administrator. But I'm almost sure it's still the same way. It's worldwide coverage for certain things, and they will reimburse you. Emergencies like that. Okay. Roll VT. Okay. They got rid of that. Quintessential One says, that's what I'm going to do, Cal. Take my time and get my own apartment. He did it right, man. He's one of the very few guys that did that, but he's a younger guy. I think he's in his early 50s. He's retired from the military, and he's just a unassuming type of guy, but he didn't come over here and get all crazy in love and infatuated with women and everything and lose his damn mind. His head wasn't in the cloud. And that's what it is. This is what James said. He said, I don't know what I was thinking. My head must have been in the cloud. Well, it was, James, and I'm not picking on you because a lot of us come over here like that. And when your head's stuck up in that cloud, you're not hearing what people are trying to tell you. You certainly aren't seeing anything, no red flags, no nothing. It's full steam ahead. Then when the cloud disappears, you're 10 stories high. You're walking on a high wire with no safety net. And you're like, what in the hell I got myself into? Just like he would tell you, he's like, well, I got to make the best of it now. Okay? Because I've spent all my damn money. Derek Casanara says there are preferred medical insurance that works well throughout Southeast Asia. Pacific Cross. But there's many, though. I mean, Aetna, it depends on, remember, it's not your money that pays for your health insurance, it's your health. So if you're in good health, it's the best time to get a health insurance policy. And they've got some good ones. Aetna has one that's all through the Southeast Asia. You can go on Google. I was in contact with a guy. I was trying to get him on my channel, but he was an Asian guy. I think he was based in China, and he had like several insurance companies that he represented, and they were all accepted throughout the Philippines, throughout Asia. So it's not easy to find. SEAC 777 says, any federal retirees have the U.S. insurance there or use the local Philippines insurance? They probably use the local Philippines insurance because that federal insurance is not going to be any good here. Robert Dame says in Paradise, they use the metric system. You might not measure up. Yeah. What else do we give up over here? But remember, there's no safety net over here, guys. You're basically on your own. A guy made a great point. He said, Calvin, when foreigners come to America, we set the table for them. We help them get jobs. They can go to school, do this, do that. He said, but over here, they don't. Well, if you have an SRV, there's some things that you can do. You have some privileges. And if you're married to a Filipino citizen, would it add up to a safety net? No. There's no food stamps over here. There's no Section 8. There's no subsidies of any kind that you're going to qualify for as a foreigner. See, we're giving all that up. See, I'm from America, man. They put our tax dollars to work. I don't care what anybody says. You can talk about welfare. You can talk about disability. You can talk about all that. I'm going to tell you, that's my tax dollars at work. And I don't have a problem with that. What are they supposed to do with the tax money? Save it up? Just save it for wars and that's it? No. But when you leave the comfy confines of your home country, and in my case, America, I gave all that up. That's a high price to pay. If I fall on my face over here, guess what? Nobody's going to catch me. There's no safety net for me. It's a long fall over there in America. There's several safety nets going to catch you. And then when you finally hit the ground, you're just going to just barely touch the ground. You're going to get up and then do the same stupid stuff again. You're not going to learn anything. But there's no safety nets over here. You're on your own. So even if you have an ironclad plan, nothing's free overseas. A price has to be paid. And this is just some of the stuff I'm telling you. Okay? The worst one is, you're like a meme over here. A man is what I meant to say. Or a mannequin. You're seen, but you're not heard. If you're displeased with something over here and something's not up to your standard and you complain about it or you have a concern about it, okay, go home then. That's the extent of it. The poor man's passport guy said, I had to buy 7 months of travel insurance. Now, this is important. He brings up a great point. Check that box, guys, when you buy that ticket. Go on and pay that extra $40 or whatever it is. Get that travel insurance. It's better than nothing. And you'll be surprised what it does cover. Read the declaration page. Before you go overseas, if they sell it to you, they've got to give you full disclosure. They can't just, they'll try to get away with it because they do it. And they'll print it out on there for you to read it, like you're a lawyer or something. No, you can call and say, hey, let me talk to somebody to explain this travel insurance to me. Give me some full disclosure on here. What's covered, what's not, what's the exclusions, blah, 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 guys. You have the right to do that. But I would check it anyway. Hey, thanks, Mr. Pirate Brain. He said, this is great information, Cal. I just try to give relevant information, pertinent information that I think is going to help people. I can't give you the sugary stuff all the time, man. Okay? Yeah, this is paradise to me. We all have our definition of paradise. But wherever your paradise is, just be prepared to pay a price for it. I owe it to my viewers to give them real information. Sometimes at least. I mean, some of my videos are inspirational, motivational, entertaining, but most of the time they're informative. Because, man, believe it or not, man, we bear a great responsibility, even though we think we don't. See, a lot of vloggers say, I'm just a vlogger, and, don't hold me responsible for when you come over. That's bull crap, man. It's the reason why people click on your channel. That's the reason why they support you and do all those things like that. They're looking for that information you give out. And if you give it out, they're going to take and run with it. Whether you believe it or not, they're going to do it. You think people are going to sit on there and you got 100,000 views and they're not listening to what you're saying? But the best thing you can come up with is, where's the best place to find a Filipino? How to catch a good Filipino. I'm like, look, you got 300,000 subscribers and that's all you can give me? Man. But y'all accept it. It's like, how to catch a good Filipino. Oh, man, it's cringy to me, man. But, I mean, who am I to say? I mean, I'm not knocking them. I'm just telling you what's out there. Land Matrix. No, Land Mantix. He says, I feel I'm lucky in that I have a great home here in the States and a great home going in the Philippines. My biggest concern is as I get older, I may not be able to go back and forth. Yeah, see, that's the price you have to pay. If you're going to, live in paradise, you're going to build that house over here, you may have to give it up or sell it for a reduced price. But it's nothing's free. The guy says, well, Cal, you said the first relationship don't work. What do you think I should do? I said, just enjoy it while you can. You might be the exception, but more than likely you're not. So just enjoy it. That's all I'm saying. Same as today. I enjoy every day, man, as if it's my last. I hope it's not, but that's how I live it. Grandpa Mike said, Cal, you're the real deal. I love the way you dish out great information. Thank you. Some people don't like it. And I told a guy in my comments today, I said, hey, it's just my style, man. I'm sorry. If you don't like it, keep scrolling. That's your freedom to keep scrolling. Why would you want to waste your time to come on here and tell me I sound like a preacher or whatever it is he said? I can't remember. Because I don't spend a whole lot of time arguing with people. I'm over trying to live. Imagine arguing in paradise. That's what these guys are doing down in Dumageddon. It's embarrassment to YouTubers. It's an embarrassment to Americans especially. But y'all think I'll be just putting out videos. I already did a video on the ugly Americans over here. It's ugly, man. We don't need it. It's enough hate out here as it is. Reach a certain point, you're going to see the real hate come out. But we certainly don't need the good guys fighting each other. Robert Kemp says, hey, Cal, I'm Rob in Sikihor. I just left Sikihor yesterday. That's a beast of a ride, too. The ferry ride from Dumageddon. I don't know why so many people from Dumageddon don't go to Sikihor. I mean, it's just like that. You get on that ocean jet. It's a nice, smooth ride. You're there about 30 minutes. But then the work begins. You get on that series bus, man, and oh, man. That 5 hours, it kicks your butt. Because I was supposed to call somebody yesterday, and I apologize if you're watching. Man, I went to sleep. Mr. Passport King says, at Land Matrix, I think about that also. I guess we have to enjoy it while we can. Yeah, enjoy it while you can, man. From the Central One said, trolls never cease to amaze me, Cal. I'm not going to go back and forth with anybody over here. I'm really living the best life I could possibly live at this point in time. Hey, Robert, he said, yeah, it was a pleasure to meet you. Yeah. Harold Teal says, some Americans think they rule everything. We've got that attitude, Harold. We just can't mind our own business. We just can't do it, man. And it's really frustrating to see. I mean, like I told you, everybody that fights me over here is an American or a Canadian. I mean, they're American light. They're the same thing. I mean, we just got that old messed up attitude that doesn't help anybody, man. It only hurts. But I want to read some little excerpts from James's message to me because it says a lot of things. He said, there's some things I like and some things I don't like. I practically built another life for myself here, but I'm realizing I should have done things differently and not have rushed into things so fast. My head must have been in a cloud. It was, man. The pandemic did that to us. The lockdowns did that to us. Man, we start fantasizing, man, and infatuating. We were infatuated with the Philippines, I know. He says, my thoughts are, I would have to spend 6 months here and 6 months in the States, but I have to see what happens if I do decide to head back for a while. In the meantime, I'm here for now. A lot of us, our heads is in the cloud, man. A lot of you guys watching right now, your head is in the cloud. You're not hearing anything negative. You're not hearing any red flags. You're not seeing anything. It's full speed ahead. I'm buying the ticket, you know, and that's okay. You know, some guy was in my comments, and a lot of times he's right. But this is like the guy walking into the casino for the first time, pulling the jackpot. I mean, pulling the arm and wins the jackpot. It very seldom happens like that. He said the best plans are no plans. No, I'm sorry, man. You know, that's only in the movies. That's only in the movies, guys. Yeah, Robert, he says hardly any traffic and friendly people. It's very little traffic. It's a little bit more than when I went in 2016. I mean, there was absolutely nobody there. I think we saw one truck the whole time, and it shocked me the whole time I was there. But now you got more cars, but not that many. They call it the Virgin Island, but I was talking to a local. It's also called the Healing Island. Retard 2019 says a real man manages his own business. Yeah, you're right, because it's enough just to keep up with my own life, and my own problems to have to be looking and dealing with somebody else who, is not that important. Trust me. You're not that important for me to even be worried about you. But yeah, you're right, because this is my saying. I made this up. You can't hit a bullseye watching another man's target. You can't do it. Okay? And that's what I'm saying over here. Man your own business. Man, I'm too busy enjoying my life over here to be worried about what you're doing over there. But they, Americans, they just want to just keep poking you, poke. It is one thing that Paul said today that I agree with, though. That Paul, what's his name? The one with the glasses and stuff. He said, who do these guys think that they can just keep on putting that stuff out there about you, trolling, and you not do anything about it? See, he has a shorter fuse than me. This man was in prison. There's no telling. He may snap. He may have a flashback. Or one of them guards or something, or anything. But this is the chance that these trolls are taking. They don't realize that you're gonna poke the wrong person, and you're gonna pay a price. The bottom line is no one has been slapped in the face yet. All it's going to take is for one of those guys to get slapped. And it's going to reverberate through all the troll community. And nobody else is going to do it. These guys have the nerve to be trolls and show their face. You guys are nuts, man. Sam Safari said, plan. But remember, the plan is just a plan. I agree. But even the most ironclad plan over here still have to pay a price, man. Let's get back to some of the no family and friends over here. Okay, that's a big one. No family and friends over here. No familiar faces, no matter where you go. You know how good that does, how good that is to see a familiar face. Or for somebody to, they say the most sweetest words to a person's ears is their own name. So imagine walking around for years and nobody ever says, hey, how you walk down the street and say, hey, Calvin, hey, Roach, or something like that. I get it here in St. Carlos City, hey, Sunshine Shoulders, but, imagine that, man. The effect that must have on you. It's a lot on you. But we think it's no big deal. But remember, if you're willing to pay that price, then okay. Because I was willing to pay any price to get out of my situation. It really was that drastic. And if it's that dire for you, I would say get out too. But just know that there's a price you're going to have to pay. Frank Ellis says, is this the same James that built things with masking tape? No, this is a guy, he's a little bit older. Well, we're about the same age. Don Ridgway said, what's up, brother Cal? What's up? He's from my hometown. Now, this James lives here in St. Carlos City. I don't know if y'all remember Vanessa. Remember I interviewed Vanessa a long time ago where he married her. Robert Paul Washington Shaw says, how much is your electric? It usually runs anywhere between 4,500 pesos per month and 8,000. If I'm here, it's usually higher because I keep the air on in this room, basically 24 hours, because Booby sleeps in here. Robert Kemp said, a businessman told me once, it's better to paddle your own boat or go your own direction. And that's true, man. But some of us, we just can't help ourselves. Shane Hinch says, I'm in Thailand now, brother. 2 weeks to go. Paradise ain't free, man. Every girl I meet hit me up for money. They think we're rich. Yeah. We even talking about it's a greater price than that. I mean, hell, that's cheap. I mean, that's nothing really. I did a video a long time ago, man. I was down in Zamboanga, right? This was before me and my wife split. This was several years ago. And, we see the prostitutes, hanging on the corner, basically. They start coming out. They usually hang out. It used to be a place called Men Pro Mall. It was a little bitty mall. They torn it down and they built a gigantic SM mall in its place. They used to hang up there by the movie theater. And then as it gets dark, dusk, they'll come out in the corner. And I asked her one time, I said, well, how much does a woman cost like her? And she said, anywhere from 300 to 500 pesos. And my chin dropped. I was like, 300 to 500 pesos? That's something like $5 to $10. She said, yeah, that's how much it costs. And so, you can get it for like that if that's what you like. It's not that expensive. Okay, my meet and greet's going to be in Iloilo. 2 years ago, right when the pandemic was easing up, a police caught a tricycle driver and a young lady getting it on in the park in Iloilo. And, of course, they made them put their clothes on and stuff like that. And, after questioning, the girls told the police that the guy paid her 200 pesos. And I'm like, wow, 200 pesos? But, it is what it is. I don't work on the clock. I don't do that kind of stuff. But let's talk about something else. Another big thing is starting from scratch. Starting over from scratch. It's hard to do. I'm telling you that it's hard to do because I did it. It's not easy. Is it worth it? Yeah, because I work for everything I've got now. So I appreciate a whole lot more. We've got her brother over here now. He's doing, y'all gonna see that wall out there. Let me see if I can show y'all because I'm proud of this. I finally listened to y'all. See the wall? All he has to do now is skim that and paint it. But he's doing a lot of work like that around here. Now, he's the only one I'll let do any work. He's painting on the inside. He replaced a few doorknobs. He's painting the cabinets. He's going to paint the outside of my wall on that side where the rain comes down. Just tidying up what you do. You got to let the universe know you appreciate this stuff. Let's see. What we got? Derek Castanara said the locals are scared of Sikihor. My friend from Bacala begged me not to go there. She said that someone would drug me. But I'm glad you brought this up, man. It's crazy. But this is one of the scams. Does anybody pay attention to the travel.state.gov? Because if you do, you can learn a lot of stuff. I was on there early today. And one of the things is they tell you to be careful of people over here who will befriend you. Because Filipinos already have the reputation for being very friendly, warm and welcoming, which they are. And this is where they will lull you to sleep, the bad guys and girls. They'll befriend you and then offer you food and drinks. and they drug it. And then you wake up and all your money's gone, your passport's gone. This is something you got to watch out for, guys, because people over here are very friendly. So you're not going to know if it's the friendlies or the friendly scammers. So you got to be careful. I wouldn't accept any food from strangers. You have to, I got to know you for a long, long time. But how many people, raise your hand, man, this is serious. Do you ever go on that travel.state.gov and read up on the country that you're going to visit, man? It's a lot of good information on there. They know a whole lot more about it than we do. Harold Till says, I think I suggested the skim code on the wall. Whoever did it, I really was just putting it off, believe it or not. But now that I got the permission from the people whose actual wall that is, and then they've moved out. I don't know. I just woke up one day and they were gone. So I decided to do it and just have them clean up around here, just to tidy up, because I'm getting a lot more visitors here. They repainted my sunshine shoulders, my gate out there, because it had gotten the weather beaten. Robert Dame says dollars and cents. DIY House and TV says church. Yeah, we got to be careful, guys. That they've got some scams over here. That's why I'm going to talk about. Keep your guard up, man. Protect yourself at all times when you overseas. We let our guard down too easy, man, especially over here. And they hit you in the mouth. Alpino said, yeah, I go there. I do my online recon before I go whatever country overseas. A lot of us, we skip that. The reason I do it, I got an email one time. It was called Smart Travelers thing. And I signed up for it. And every now and then I'll get like updates from the Philippines about what's going on here. Like I got one about the Mayon volcano. See, people don't realize, but the United States, for all the Philippines, believe it or not, they've got a level 2. That means reconsider traveling here. But we don't care, because we look more to the vloggers than we do to the government for our information. That's why I tell you it's so important for us to give relevant information. Quit playing with people's lives, really. And tell them what's really going on wherever you are. Because most people don't go on there and look and see what's going on. It's a level 2. They say reconsider. And level 4 in certain parts of Mindanao. Level 3 in all of Mindanao. That means don't go. Okay. But we don't pay attention to that, guys. They pay attention to people like me. So, yeah, it's a big responsibility that I'm on here telling you some stuff about Holo Salu, Baziland, certain parts of Tawi, Marawi, Lanao, Del Sur, those type of places you need to stay the hell away from. Frank Ellis said, it sounds like we're going on with what's going on with the women in Colombia, but sometimes you end up dead. Yeah, but see, I got that information. That's something I made up. It's something that's on that website now. You know, they'll befriend you, because people here are very, very friendly. The most friendliest I've ever seen, really. I mean, really, from basically strangers. So you don't know, is this guy friendly, or he's a friendly scammer? Which one is it? So the thing is, don't accept any food from any strangers, man. Harold Till says, I went to the casino in Cebu. Many of the men there wanted to be friends and follow me around in the casino. Yeah, I don't go to the casino here, man. It's too many stories, and mostly involves South Koreans and Chinese, because they're big gamblers over here, and they borrow money, and you know, there's a lot of kidnapping and stuff going on. You know, so I don't go there. But yeah, I can imagine if it's anything like in America, where people, I mean, they've spent all their money. They're walking around like zombies, looking down on the floor, looking for somebody dropping chips, trying to steal chips off the table from you. If it's anything like that, I don't want anything to do with it. Elliot Makata says, I have a ways to go, Cal, but I'll be there. Take your time, Elat. Derek Castanaro says, I used to support the State Department in Iraq, so I used to routinely follow their page, but lately I've gotten lazy. Yeah, just go through there one time. If you're going to Thailand, just see what it says. Over here, it's level 2. And people probably didn't know that. The United States government is telling you, reconsider your travel to the Philippines. They're saying that, not me. I'm saying, yeah, come on, it's okay. But they probably know more about the Philippines than me, don't you think? I'm just telling you my boots on the ground experience. They say Mindanao's level 3 and parts of Mindanao's level 4. It's off limits to American citizens, but you can go at your own risk. Laura says, I think those videos of people living van life and RV life mislead many thinking it was a more cost-effective way to live. What do you mean, in Mexico or over here? Because there was a guy who came to visit me. It was before my guest house was finished, though. He's an American. I think he lives in Dumaguete. He bought a utility truck and converted it to a small RV. This guy could be a genius because he was, he was dressed like one of them weird genius type guys, right? And, with the socks pulled all the way up, the tube socks pulled all the way up to his knees with sandals and an old Seattle Supersonics jersey, hair coming this long out of his underarm, beard, chain smoking. But this guy had taken a utility truck that he bought and converted into it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. It was too nice, man. He had a refrigerator in there. He had a portable toilet, microwave. He had everything. He had the satellite on the top. He said he paid. I want to think he said he paid $500,000 for the utility truck. I don't know what he said, but it was unbelievable. And that's I believe that's where he lives. He claimed that he's so wealthy and he owns several big houses, rental properties in Dumaguete. But I was just looking at him like, God, you're living there, buddy. And that's okay. But it was a brilliant thing he did. And he had a little shovel on the side of the door. And I'm naive. I'm like, well, what's that for? And he looked at me. I said, he said, I think you know what that's for. And that's what, if the portable toilet, he just to dig a hole and take a poop. David Hill said, my wife said your neighbors may have been behind on rent. Her grandma used to do that when she gambled the money away, sneak out in the middle of the night. Well, these people, they own that house. They are actually pretty well off. They had one of those big SUVs. Man, I'm assuming SUVs cost over here probably more than the house. And they own some type of business. But now it's empty. I walk past there and all the curtains are gone. Nobody's in there. Victor Gill says, hey, joining a little late, preparing for the... Huh? I don't know. What's this guy saying? Preparing for the 4th. Oh, a scammer scam. Oh, yeah, scammer scammed himself out of 7,500. I don't know what he's talking about. Grandpa Mike says, everyone has a plan till they get punched in the face. Your advice helps know when to duck. Yeah, that friendly scam, it shocked me. I was like, boy, would it be easy to get us with that one? Because Filipinos are so friendly. Hey, Johnny Martinez, thanks for that super sticker. Welcome to the chat, brother. MJ Peace is positive energy. Oh, you talking about Laura said in the USA? Yeah. Victor Gillis says we win this time. The poor man's passport guy says, I'm enjoying rainy season now, but I know typhoons and floods will happen. Well, it just depends on where you are. Now look at the sun out there. It's shining. Did it rain yesterday? I think it did. But it doesn't rain all the time. And that's why, the rain season here, to me, it just rains just a little bit more here in the central Visayas region than normal. Well, we're actually sort of in between central and western Visayas. Yeah, Frank Ellis said a nerd genius. Yeah, he was. He traveled all around, and he was coming through San Carlos City. He says, hey, I just want to meet you. Can I stop by? And he opened up the door and he showed me the place. And I was like, wow, this is nice, man. But then he got to talking about all the real estate he owned in Dumaguete. And like, okay, not realizing, hell, that's enough. Hey, Beach Alive, he said, thanks for the show. See y'all next time. Okay, brother, yeah, I probably got about 25 minutes left. We're talking about, is the price for paradise too high overseas? What's your definition of paradise? Everybody's got one. It's subjective. I looked in the dictionary. It says, an ideal place or state, extremely happy, peaceful, and picturesque, a place of contentment. And, I get pushed back all the time. Oh, you say the Philippines is a paradise. It's a slum, right? And I challenge anybody to come over here and let me take them around. I can take you to some places that absolutely meet that definition, the perfect definition of that. And you can have a paradise wherever you are, but it's going to cost you. Nothing's free, guys. And we were just talking about some of the things you give up. Number one is your voice, man. You can't, if you just act like, you're not satisfied over here, they're going to tell you to go home. They're going to misinterpret it. It's saying, oh, well, you're complaining, you don't like it here, we'll go home. No, I'm just saying that, hey, the pancakes they sent me, they wasn't done. But you have that waiting to exhale feeling, because this is not the first time I've been over here for a length of time. When my son was born, I stayed here for 13 months. It seemed like as soon as I landed back in America, I got that, I can say what I want to say. I can be who I want to be. I don't have to be so reserved and, watch what you say. And, after a while, biting your tongue, and you start feeling like a man or a damn mannequin over here. You be seen, but then don't be heard. And, when you older, that's hard to do as you get older. I mean, it really is. You get hard. It's hard to do. Don Ridgway says, I registered with the U.S. State Department when I visited the Philippines in 2019. That's a great thing to do. It's called the Smart Travelers Program. It's free. And they don't snoop on you. They just kind of know you're in the country. So if something's going on and they need to evacuate you or give you some information, they can contact you. They contact you through the email. But I mean, a lot of us, we come over here and nobody knows we're here. I was talking to a guy today. He'll tell you, he said, because he's going to come over here later on in the year for a few days. And I was like, a few days? He said, yeah, I just bought the ticket. Nobody even knows I'm coming. And I'm like, I don't think that's a smart thing to do, man. Let somebody know you coming here. Murphy's Law may show up, then what? I mean, it's going to take a while for them to finally track you down, because you got to swipe your damn passport. There's no money in there. Oh, you put it in there? A what?
Cement and the sand.
Oh, okay.
For, the pipe for the water.
Oh, is that what's going? Is he going to fix it?
Yeah.
Then
Carlos and the other guy, because they're going to.
Are they going to help him?
Yeah, because
they're going to help him. Okay. Yeah, my damn something going on with my water line out in the main line. And today, I'm getting just like a trickle. Okay. Victor Gillen said your live stream chats are not showing up on my TV. I think it's a place down there where you have to elect that. You have to click on that, Victor. Christian Taylor said the price I paid to live here on the Philippines, the health insurance, family, and comfort of easy living, but the comforts changed to other comforts like my wife's family and financial resources. Peace and blessings to your brother Cal and your family. Keep up the good works and join your channel. Yeah, you pay a price. Yeah, you leave that health insurance, man. That's a big one too. Because as you get older, you need that damn health insurance, and then they come over here and say, we don't take that. You got to go see Michael Onstad or one of those guys, get you a policy. And then if you got some type of pre-existing illness, good luck with that. It's a high price to pay. I just say take better care of yourself. Try to eat better. Get more active if you can. Certainly if you're smoking and drinking, I would take a look at that. Mr. Nachos Naps Roller Skate said, yes, it is too high now overseas. What do you think, sir? Well, we're not talking about monetarily because the Philippines is a great retirement destination if you're trying to stretch your dollars. We're talking about a different price. It is expensive coming over here getting established, though. And a lot of guys are learning that the hard way when they come over here. They're always asking me, well, how much what's the cost of living there? Never thinking about, you need some money to get started here. Unless you're going to rent an apartment or a condominium that's furnished, you at least need that first month's rent, first month's deposit. Some people want 2 months deposit. You got to, buy food, furniture. You got to do all kind of stuff like that. Then, of course, your woman, you're going to have her, man. No matter what you say, she's going to be there. And that's just how it is. Victor Gillen said, Cal, appreciate what you said about trading addictions the other day. Yeah, it's true. And you got to watch that. Because we were talking about this. I'm trying to think, who was I talking about this? I think Michael Beat Your Life. Yeah, we were talking about this. He was talking about how he was having a hard time quitting smoking because of the mechanics that go into it. He's always putting the cigarette up here. So that's why he's going to he's got that, what do you call it, vape. I said, well, why are you smoking a vape? He said, yeah, because it's hard for me to stop putting something up to my mouth. And that's what'll happen, man. You're just going to replace the addiction if you're not careful. And that's what I did. I went from drinking and drugging to gambling until I looked at it, because a lot of times you're in denial. Hey, Philip Cooper said, Cal, have a look at your water tank. I found a leak in mine last week and need to get it repaired. 6-month-old water tank, rusted out in the bottom because I get brackish water. Oh, okay. Now, see, if you were to do that, if you were to complain about that, they'll say, go home. If you express any displeasure, any concern and anything over here, it's looked at as if you're complaining that you're not happy. But that's not the case. Frank Ellis says, it might be because you're not on StreamYard, Cal. That could be it, but I think it's because it's, I've got great internet here in San Carlos City. And we had to pay extra to get it because when we went to the office, they said, oh, you live too far back away from the road. Well, this is the good thing about having a woman who lives in the community. Because guys are always talking about, oh, one guy said, hey, I can't get my wife to move away from Manila and her family and friends. I said, yeah, you're making a big mistake. Don't do that. Keep her in her comfort zone, man. And Marilyn went out and talked to the guy. Said, hey, how much would you charge us, you know, to run that line back here and put it in? And we paid him 3,000 pesos. King Arthur said, Victor, I can't get it on my TV also. Victor Gillen said, Cal, all the hate bloggers, one did come to your defense. Yeah, I'm just saying it's not about that. I'm saying, Victor, that the good guys shouldn't be fighting. There's enough bad guys out there already. And why is it always Americans? I would be kind of shocked if I turned on the YouTube one time and it was somebody from Saudi Arabia or somebody like that trolling me. It's always an American or Canadian. It's never anybody else. It's always an American. Harold Till says sometimes complaining is to get them to meet the standards. Yeah, I'm saying there's nothing wrong with it, but when you complain as a foreigner, they're gonna look at it like, you don't have any reason to complain. If you're unhappy, then go home, and it's not the right way to look at it. It's just like, hey, I'm not satisfied with the service, but that's one of the things that you give up when you move overseas. You're gonna get misinterpreted. Laura says King Arthur, an oral substitution, but then he may get buck teeth, LOL. Elette Makata says, make sure you guys are all subscribed to Sunshine's channel. Thank you, Elette. Elette's up there in Houston, Texas. A lot of people from Houston up there. Harold Till says, I noticed the chicken in some restaurants is undercooked. Can't bite my tongue for that. Well, a lot of it is. And what I do, I don't order the chicken anymore unless it's a soup. And the soup, the hot water will cook that chicken. A lot of it has, when you break the wings open, you see the red there. I don't like that. And see, I told Merlin that. So even now, today, when Merlin cooks chicken here, she'll parboil it first before she cooks it. Now, another way you can get it cooked all the way done is get it in like an adobo or something like that. But yeah, you're right. If you go out here right now and go to get one of these lechon manuks off the rack, I always tell them, just I'll pick the one I want, but let it cook a little bit more. I'll come back and get it because I know it's not going to be done if I get it right off that rack. But what I do is I've learned I just bring it home and put it in my air fryer and cook it the rest of the way because they're just going to cook it like they normally cook it anyway. So, there's not a whole lot you can do. Victor Gillen says, Cal, they complain about the Philippines, but I guarantee you it's 100 times better than where they're from. Well, people who complain, I have to say, who complain all the time, I have to say, then go home. Why are you here? No place is a utopia. Laura's got that on my mind, but it's true. She hit me over the head with that and had to wake me up. It is. No place is a utopia. But if you don't like a place that much, then go home. That's not what we're talking about. We're just saying that you absolutely have to watch what you're saying when you're overseas. You can't just, in America, you can say just about anything. You can voice your opinion. But over here, you can't do it. I don't care if you got an SRV or not. If you voice your opinion over here, man, you're going to get in trouble. Derek Casanaro says, I get great rotisserie chicken in Hermoso, Bataan. Yeah, I used to. It just depends on where you go. And then what happens is I usually go by a place that's not patronized as much as the other one. So I know the chicken's been on there for a while, and you usually will get better results. Frank L says, I hate chicken that's undercooked. I think we all do. Mr. Passport King says, since I will initially be setting up shop in Mindanao, I just signed up for the Smart Travel Enrollment Program, the STEP program. That's what I meant to say. That's a great thing you did. But I'm going to tell you something, honestly, if you just stay out of those hot spots in Mindanao, you're going to be fine. I lived in Zamboanga on and off for 10 years. Anytime I went to the Philippines, I went to Zamboanga. That's where my wife is from and her family. And I stayed the whole time during the lockdown, that 6-month lockdown in Zamboanga. I mean, I've never had any problems there. But there are some hot spots in Mindanao. Mindanao is vast, man. I mean, it's really vast. It's the second biggest island in the Philippines, behind Luzon. There's places there where you're not even going to know that you're in Mindanao. And it's always going to be in the back of your head. But if you get rid of that, you may be in trouble. Always keep your guard up, guys. You know, I don't care how good it looks, how comfortable you feel. Don't let your guard down overseas. That's my next video. I got to tell y'all that because we let our guard down. We get too damn comfortable. You're not at home. Hey, David Armstrong, thanks for that super sticker. And welcome to the channel, brother. Appreciate that. But yeah, don't let your guard down, man. Keep your guard up because someplace you go, all over really, it's a few places in Mindanao that I personally know of that you don't want to go to. Lanao del Sur, North Cotabato City, okay, South Cotabato is okay. North Cotabato, they're still kind of like fighting down there. Morawi, you've got, of course, Baziland, Holo Sulu, and then you got Tawi Tawi. Anything along that South Sulu Sea, it's, you know, it's sketchy, man. And, you know, you get guys on here and say, oh, I'll be in, and they brag about it. Guys, don't go there, man. Don't go there trying to prove a point and show how special you are and end up getting into some trouble. Because those guys aren't going there by themselves. They're going there with government officials and all kinds of stuff like that. Trust me. There's no sense in you showing out and doing that anyway. Phil Cooper says, we've been conditioned to not eat chicken that's undercooked, but also realize that chicken here doesn't sit in vats of filthy water like in the U.S. When we get it, it's not contaminated. Yeah, you make a great point. And just because it's undercooked doesn't mean it's bad. This is part of the cultural differences, though, Phil, and you know it. You've been over here long enough to know. You can't take that for granted. So when you say, oh, man, she's from a different culture, we think we can just come over here and hook up with a woman and it's going to work out fine, man. It's tough. Even the ones who stay together, a lot of times it's not their first marriage. It's not their first go-around. It's hard, man. Because of that, we think it's no big deal. You know, they may be used to eating chicken that's undercooked. And then when you complain about it, it's going to be an argument. It could be all kinds of stuff. You know, I'm going to tell you something real simple that I get, you know, that me and Marilyn go back and forth about. It's feeding these dogs. You know, they'll feed them once a day and that's it. And, you know, I'm like, well, put some water out there. And it's like they forget all about them. And I'm like, they probably eat more than we do. So I buy the chicken. I either buy the chicken that they use in soup here, like 145 pesos a kilo, or I buy the chicken necks. Or you can go to the market, the wet market, and get chicken heads. Yeah, actually chicken heads. And uh, those are good. Those are cheap. I think they're like 120 pesos a kilo or something like that. John Bergeron says, I lived in Davao for 3 years and loved it. Well, yeah, you're living in one of the safest, cleanest cities on the planet, not just in the Philippines, especially when um, the Duterte was the uh, mayor. That's when I was visiting there, 2010, 2011. Duterte didn't play, man. I mean, really. And that's a fact. Phil Cooper says, I always eat my chicken cooked, but I think it's a lot clean meat to eat than in the States. I have to second that. And that's one thing I like about it, especially the seafood. See, because I'm from Kentucky. I'm not from California. I'm not from the East Coast and all that, Florida and all the places. Gulf of Mexico, where you can get that fresh seafood and fresh fish. Man, it's just frozen. I really don't know what fish tastes like until I came over here. Or when I went to Mexico, because I'm putting hot sauce on it and salt and pepper, because it's frozen. There's no, you can't taste the fish oil in it like you can over here. And that's why it's going to take you a while to get used to the fish over here. You can taste that fish oil over here. You be like, man, you're not used to that. I'm not. Imagine that frozen junk I'll be getting from Kroger, and they unthaw it, and then your mother fries it in a damn 4 feet of lard, and first she wraps it all up in egg and milk and that flour concoction, then throws it into all that lard, and then you get it and it flops on your plate, and then you put hot sauce and stuff on. It's like you don't know what you're eating for real. What's up, Pumpkin Joe? Philippine Experience says, I stay aware of who's around me. What does he say? Always back in the States, so that definitely doesn't change overseas. Mindanao has great places, but I stay aware even in Cebu and Negros. I stay aware everywhere. That's my next video. Just keep your guard up, man. We let our guard down. People are smiling, they're friendly, and everything. We let our guard down. That's when the problem. You got to keep your guard up at all times. Protect yourself at all times. You know how they talk about in boxing. Y'all seen what happened to Victor Ortiz and Floyd Mayweather, and then they had the nerve to get mad at Floyd Mayweather for knowing the rules of boxing. He trying to shake the man, saying Floyd Mayweather hit him in the mouth and knocked him out. Victor Gillen says, Cal, I know expats don't want to be interviewed, but the first meet and greet, please make time to interview me. Well, what do you mean the first meet and greet? That you come to? Because we have a meet and greet coming up Thursday in Iloilo City, if you're around there. And I got some great news today. I think Stephen and Bea, they're going to be back in time to attend. Her father passed away, and they're there in Palawan for his funeral. And now that I want to bring him up, it's crazy to me. I did a video about black guys, and everybody got mad about it. But when you talk about what's really out there, people can't handle the truth, okay? Now, they think, here's the narrative they're pushing out there about black men traveling overseas. That we come over here, and if we get a nice-looking woman, then that means we're winning. No, man. This guy's really winning over here. Black guys that's really winning. And Steven is one of them. Imagine building a business, a lemonade business from the ground up, and him and his wife earned over 100,000 US dollars in 1 year. See, that's winning. But just to put a picture of a smiling black man up there, with his arms around a white woman, an African woman, or a Filipino, or whatever, and say he's winning. That's the wrong narrative. We don't want that. That's not winning. That's like a giving. That's like your reward for traveling overseas. That don't mean you winning though. This man was winning. If I ever interview him, it'd be a whole lot different than those other. I'll show you a winner over here. I'll show you several of them, but he's certainly one of them. I mean, I don't care what color you are. You do that over here in the Philippines. That's 5 million pesos that he earned, him and his wife, their business earned in 1 year. I mean, that's phenomenal. You can't even, but you don't even see that anywhere. I had to ask him, I said, man, you need to do a video on that. He did, but he doesn't have the platform I've got. I want to bring him on here and really talk to him about that, man, because that's phenomenal to do that. I mean, that's beyond winning. Victor said, Cal, can you get a passport and visa with a felony? You can. Okay. Johnny Martinez says, man, some of my best memories is the fried chicken in Cebu right off the street and the spicy Thai fried chicken in Manila. Oh, damn. Yeah, you'd be surprised you can get these little pieces of chicken. Now, I don't know what they're frying it in, but it's either 10 or 15 pesos each. And I always get them if I'm on the bus and they make a stop and you'll see the little vendor out there. They're frying it fresh. It's hot, man. It's crispy. It's good. But it's these little bitty, how they, take a wing and they'll chop it in half. What's up, David W? Said, keep up the good work, Cal. Thank you, brother. But yeah, guys, I'm going to get off here. They're doing some work on the house, man. I can smell that paint over here. They've got that oil-based paint. It's strong. But I want to thank y'all for your super chats, your super stickers, your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Shoulders, man. I never take it for granted. I'm here to help you, man. But coming over here to live is no joke. It's not a game. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. But even the people with the ironclad plan, you pay a price for it. Any price. I would have paid any price. And I was glad I took the leap, man. But don't be stupid. Nothing's free, guys. If you're in Ilo on Thursday from 3 p.m. until at the Bourbon Street Bar and Grill, stop by, man, for the meet and greet. It's not to meet me. You're going to meet some outstanding people. Ask the people who came to the one last month in Lapu-Lapu. We sold that place out, man. I want to thank y'all for showing up like that. They invited us back. They said we could come back at any time. Now, the other place we sold out in Lapu-Lapu, crickets. They didn't show their appreciation, and I'm kind of upset about that. They want to act like, oh, yeah, well, we get this kind of business every day. I don't think so. And it hurt our feelings, me and Derek Q of Q Adventures. I mean, we absolutely sold that place out. Thousands of business, thousands of tips for the waitresses, and we didn't get a thank you. But this last one we did, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give back in that way. I got that idea from the Dumagetti disciples. They do that. They'll sell a place out, man, because I was renting this place here, spending a lot of money, which I'm going to do it for my when I hit for my 50,000 celebration. I'm going to schedule that. I'll probably do it at this Mr. C's place or something. But they was like, we don't spend anything. We just asked the people, can we have the place? And we know a lot of people are going to come and give them all their business. So I said, let me try it. And it's been successful. And it'll probably be successful here. Also, thanks to everybody who's went on Amazon and downloaded the ebooks, The Unspoken Agreement, Love and Betrayal. Now, Stories of Love and Betrayal in the Philippines, the setup part 1 and setup part 2. I think it's at 160 downloads. Unbelievable, man. I never imagined that. I'm working on part 3, the final episode for that, and then I'm going to unload the rest of the stories. But the the setup, it got so interesting. I should have wrote a whole story on that. Okay, if you're interested, the link is in there because I don't know why it's not showing up on Amazon. But take care, everybody. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. And, you know, don't be an ugly American, man. Come over and have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Let's mind our own business, man. People want to date young women. Let them do it. They're not breaking the law. I don't see that's nothing to fight about, man. Let's live and let live. Okay, Don. Take care.